mean to record this, but we're here, yeah? Moving forward. Forward in life. That's where we move forward.
I ain't gonna lie, I love it when you crash out. I'ma come blow that back out. Manage your shit like Vanguard. I don't want no debate in bed, come play that shit like hash brown. Kish fantastic, famous dishes, stretch like Pedro Pascal. You know I love it, spit nasty, making it bounce, it will love me. I'ma donate like collection plate and back that she never told it. I'm a real freak, you know this. Know you like Bachelor's Trophy. She rip shirt, Hulk Hogan, she love Kish, she fully in focus. She know this. Beat it, boom, bow, you're leaving. Boom, boom, pow, on a black eyed peas, thing legs longer than my reaching. I can't even think of shit no other way. Cause I've been feeling for that yucky since the other day. And when she arched her back, got me screaming out her fucking name. I'm scouting for girls, and I found her, she's so lovely. Picking it up, no dispatch, yeah, I'm chilling her spine. She crazy like all the time, but baby, she knows she mine, yeah, she mine, wow.
All good. All right, cool. 3, 2. You're gonna clap with me. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Try that one more time. 3, 2, 1. That was a bit. Hello. It's I'm not used to camera work, so it's funny. It's like seeing that pointing in this direction and knowing I'm still on camera. If that makes sense. But
it's making me nervous.
Why is it making you nervous?
It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
It's the camera. Hello. My name is EUONIABYEMILY. If you don't know, which you already do know, because this is episode number 3. I was gonna try to think of a rhyme on the spot, but I'm not gonna do that because that's going into the YouTube files, and I'm not quite there yet. But I am back with another episode, and I actually have somebody sitting next to me. Wow, I know people. We speak to people around here. How crazy is that? I'm very excited to have a wonderful guest on the show. Somebody who I feel like does very amazing work. Put it this way, like, I don't know, sometimes you just be seeing stuff and then one day you wake up and it's like, hold on, what's this person actually doing? And when you look at what this person's done, it's like, yeah, this is kind of crazy. But I'm gonna let this wonderful lady introduce herself. Lady, would you prefer to be called?
The Queen.
The wonderful Queen to introduce herself. We have the wonderful
Emily Gore,
can you
independent fashion designer.
Can you do the
owner of EUONIABYEMILY. EUNOIA, the only word in the English dictionary with every vowel in it, which translates to beautiful thinking. And is Greek derivative, and is also the receptivity that you cultivate between yourself and your audience. Yeah, I make clothes.
That got deep as hell. Yeah. What's okay? We're gonna start with the generic question first, because you led with that. What's the inspiration behind that? How did you get that?
The name.
Yeah.
I found the word years ago, and then I thought, what a lovely word, That's kind of what happened. And then when it was coming to uni, and obviously I graduated and started the brand, wrote down a big list of loading names, and that was on it, and that was the one that my heart and soul gravitated towards.
How many names do you have?
I still have the list.
You still have the list?
Yeah. Probably about like 50.
Okay.
There were some very niche ones on there. I think there was one of them that was like all that and a bag of chips.
All that and a bag of chips, that's what you was going to call it?
Yeah.
All that and a bag of chips.
It was just an idea.
What was the inspiration behind that idea?
All of that and
a bag of chips. To be fair, I do love a bag of chips, so I'll give it to you. But, it's probably better for reasons that you didn't go into that name.
And also it's EUONIABYEMILY, so it's like beautiful thinking by Emily. So
EUONIA, that's how you say it as well.
EUONIA,
cool. So
like you annoy me a lot.
Wow. Attacks, as you do. No, it's one of the things that, like, you know, when you read something but you don't ever want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So,
I've
like,
had a lot of people say it wrong.
does that bother you?
No, because how do you know any better? Do you know what I mean? Although it does say on my Instagram page, YOUNOI. YOH.
Do you know what things people don't listen to, like, don't look at on a day? It took me, like, I think it was working in retail that I realized that,
You know how much things, like, your average customer is, like, really, I don't know, like, when you're out and you're being a customer or when you're looking at stuff, you really don't pay attention to a lot of things. So I have actually seen that on your Instagram with the thing that actually says it. So for me to be like, yo, for me to be like annoying, kick me, like, what, you know.
Sorry,
but
it's a spinny chair.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just, you know, as you do, invite some out. But yeah, no, it's one of the things I try to avoid saying. But I'm glad. So say it one more time for me.
Eunoia.
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 Right, Emily. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, you've done some pretty cool things in my book. You're also kind of a cool person.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, alright, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? No.
Be humble.
One thing I like about you is you're very, I don't know, you remind me of myself in a certain type of way, like you're very like hands-on with things that you do and how you move. So even like, we'll talk about it a little bit more. I obviously want to get into your stuff, but the whole like skating side of things and stuff like that as well, I just find it amazing. Yeah, like it's crazy, like a real action person. So shout out to you. But yeah, I mean, aside from obvious reasons as to why I want to get you on the show, which is just kind of like highlighting your work or just, you know, having a guest on the show is nice. Not that I'd just be having anybody on here. You ain't doing that. True. But at the same time, it's, I don't know. I just feel like your work is absolutely crazy. I feel like you're a very interesting person. And I just feel like a lot of, as I've talked about on like the previous episodes, and I mentioned it to you before we were on here, like I feel like there's a lot of cross. What did you ask me before we started singing?
About how we're gonna sort of merge everything together.
Right, because you do fashion. My mission statement is like underground alternative music,
which is obviously what I thought it was primarily about.
Of course, you hear alternative underground music, you're not necessarily going to think, oh, okay, this is my fashion, like whatever, or you know, shows have different criteria.
But then, I guess working with the music artists.
I feel like there's a lot of so, you know, I was referencing to you, I said it on the last show, but the whole like that talked about the shotty horror thing, so the battle rap, and seeing how again, like there was, you know, there's points where I've had conversations with shotty horror and certain things like that. So it's like you see where they all kind of cross and merge. We're all in a very similar network, but I feel like it's quite disconnected. So I feel like considering some of the things that you've done, I just wanted to kind of highlight that and just kind of put it on show, because I just think it's important for like just cross-referencing and people understanding, you know, there's really cool things going on. Alright, cool. I have a list. I wasn't sure if I was gonna fucking do this. Yeah, excuse my language. This is the first time I might have sworn on the podcast. That's crazy.
Do you have decut? Do you cut little bits out?
I can do, and my phone just died as I was doing it. So what's in the charger is this?
It's a free phone charger.
Huh? Yeah, but why is it not charging my thing?
Is it not plugged in?
It's fine. Is it? No, it's plugged in.
Oh, it might be sometimes.
Can you give me a list and a rundown?
A list?
So basically, I had a list of names that I had. I'm gonna try and run it down if I can, that type of way.
Oh,
but here we go.
Let me not lean on that.
Yeah. Hold on.
I have a list of my first ones.
Your first ones, yeah. So yeah, I literally had a list of lists, pretty much like 12 to 13 to 14 to 50. I don't even know how much comprehensive names. And when I say names, I don't like to put people on pedestals in a certain type of way, because we're all creative people doing our thing. But you've worked with some pretty famous people. Oh my gosh. So cool. Do you wanna?
That's like from beginning until like I probably, whenever that thing is dated, is when I gave up writing it down.
Oh my lord.
And they're some just call in and that didn't actually wear as well, so just about that.
Okay, alright, cool. So
but my biggest call in has been Scissor.
Yeah, alright, cool. So give me, because this is, if you see this, you obviously can't see, and you know, no details and stuff on there,
So
but that's
that you do like with the makeup.
yeah, like it's an extensive list. Give me some of your favorites, or give me some of the biggest.
My favourites, I can't do that. My favourite is always the newest piece that I've made.
Okay. Interesting. All right, so
But I do have performances where people are wearing it that I'm like, ooh, that invokes a feeling.
interesting.
Yeah, and it's sort of like there's 3 videos of 3 artists that if I reach a point where I'm like, oh my god, I need some sort of motivation, I'll watch those and then it will.
Okay, that's
back
always
in.
that's always a healthy space to be in, having this as a source of inspiration.
My little honey, a little sound.
All right, cool. So before you go on, give me some names. Give me
Some names.
some names.
I don't like doing that. It
I
makes
know
me
you
sound.
Of course, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
also
yeah.
what we're here to celebrate. Like
Okay.
I imposter syndrome, you like that sort of thing. I'm not saying that's what you get, but in terms of me,
I don't think I get that. I think I know.
Well, then you better start singing about what you did.
Let's say.
Do it. No.
One of my favourites is Tyler. I love working with Tyler.
Absolutely.
I think she embodies the designs.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
That was one of the ones I saw. I was like, Jesus, man, like this is like, it's not stopping, is it? Like it just seems to be going to and this kind of sounds like hate almost. Like it's not stopping. Like, oh my gosh, why is she working with all these people? But that's not what I mean. Just more the sense of.
I think when you when I first started and when I first moved to London, that you get one, and then you sort of are like opened up to like a whole collective of stylists and creative people as well. Like you said, like with the podcast, obviously there's different collectives and that.
Yeah.
And that is when it just opened, and then it just has just been continuous since. So I think that one open, which was actually Katie Baser. Yeah, and that was when I was still living in Kent, and I actually came up to London to drop off the garments, literally to someone's house, which obviously normally the assistants do nowadays.
Yeah.
But
that's more. That's testament to your
all the way up
hands-on nature.
to 2.5-hour train journey to drop off an item, which was my first ever celebrity styling call-in. And then she wore it, and she wore all 3 of the outfits on the tour on different locations, and then moved to London, and that was where everything just started, really. But then, I don't like to talk too much about how big the names are. More like, I don't know.
No, I
know what you're trying to do.
No, of course, it's a healthy, because it's a healthy outlook to have. I've, not to make it about myself at all, but just in the sense of like, I know sometimes looking back, I probably should have documented a little more. So I'm not saying that's about you. I'm not saying you shouldn't be there. But what I'm saying is, again, naturally, like when I'm here to talk to you about what you're doing, it's naturally gonna make me feel a bit more like, raw, like it's that. So obviously it's not that important, but
and that is what a lot of people approach and recognize and say about I think the main one people like recognize is Tyler.
Yeah. There is a lot of. I'm gonna try and read.
She is pinned as my top 2 posts, so it does make sense.
I'm not surprised. Alright, cool. So, what do I have here if this thing wants to actually load and stop being annoying? Alright, cool. So I just went down and put down a random bunch of names from people that I've just seen on your thing. One of the first people is this dude IFeelFantastic. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Actually, my model back in the second collection, which is 2022.
I think so.
Or 2021.
I think it won.
2021, I think. It was when I was doing more print stuff.
Yeah.
And you wore the 2-piece. Unisex 2-piece.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's still in the cupboard.
I was a part of this thing, but not about me. How do you say her name?
Who?
Joy
T.
Joy
T was the first one. The first ever one, and that was my first collection that she wore, and it was for Homegrown, the launch of her like events that she started doing.
Very cool DJ as well.
Very cool, and makes some really good points on like the industry as well.
Yes. I always love people who have a lot of things to say.
She
not that I disagree,
that festival recently.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like boycotting action, but she's always been someone that's kind of like helped to try and lead that sort of. I don't want to say lead because I don't know.
I think she's got a voice and she's using it.
She chooses to use it, which I think is very important. So
I agree.
There is her, there's Katie Baser, as you said. Am I pronouncing
Katie B, I love
Katie
her.
B?
Yeah.
Did she wear anything of yours?
She has, She
I love Katie B.
She's so cute. I love her. She follows me, my main.
Oh.
Yeah. My bestie.
Shout out to you, Katie B, man. Just in
Katie.
case for some strange reason you ever see this. Shout out to you. I love you. That's it.
She did like 20 years at Rinse FM, and then we made obviously Rinse FM is blue, so we made a blue outfit for her 20 years. performance.
20 years.
20 years.
Wow.
Of Rinse.
Of Rinse. Oh, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, what? Like 20 years of KEB? I'm
Did I
like,
say that wrong?
Nah, I'm just like, I know I'm getting older.
She's like 30s.
She's been around.
Mid 30s.
She's been around.
Which is, I'm almost 30.
We don't disclose ages on this podcast. So,
Okay, nice.
No, there's so again, Wavy U, the
Wavy Claudia, yeah.
Claudia, whatever you know her as, but again, very notable within the UK,
Wavy
whatever.
Claudia.
Anyway,
She only lives around the corner.
so
Yeah.
all these places, London is the size of
London is tiny,
5
and that's
piece.
what I realised when I moved here.
Yeah,
But it's also very big. Everybody takes half hour at least.
No, it's just because you live in the sticks. You obviously ain't gonna disclose it, but you live in the sticks. There's certain places that are just like the sticks to
But
be.
then also, like, it's nice, it's green. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Where I live is kind of green.
You're southeast, right?
Yeah.
The southeast to southwest connect. Like, it's awful for travel.
It's to be fair, getting here wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
No.
It's long, but it's not that long.
Yeah.
Like, there's places that take longer to get to them.
Okay.
Cool. So there's Arya Starr, what's on this stuff? Arya, Cole, Tyler.
I've been
Don't know how to say that
drinking
name.
more alcohol.
BR3YNA. How do I say that?
Branya.
Amazing.
That
May
was
Muller.
May Muller did have for Brighton Pride.
Leanne Pinnock, Little Mix.
Leanne
Pinnock.
Pinnock, yeah. I've worked with her 3 times.
Taylor Elaine.
Love Taylor Elaine, and her DJ stuff is great. Her sets are great. And I think I've worked with her like probably more than most. I think like about 10 times.
Yeah.
She comes back.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, when I was creeping up the page earlier on, I was like, "Bro, like, yeah, okay, she's recurring." Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Character.
And I've only had like a few that aren't reoccurring as well.
Yeah.
Because I when I first started as well, I
Established good relationship, but well,
yes,
sorry,
literally that was it. I was kind of giving.
someone should have taught me about. Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Establishing good relationships with people when you first started.
Yeah, so I was in the first year when I moved to London, I was doing a lot of customs for free because I knew that if I did something for free that person would like it, would build incentive and they would come back. So everyone that I did do a custom for free for has come back.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta know how to cut money to make money, if that makes sense.
Yes,
I think a lot of people don't
definitely.
get that. Sometimes I've had to learn about that as well. But sometimes you gotta know when to extend your services in a certain type of way. Doesn't mean you have to be working out here and doing a bunch of stuff for free. But sometimes I've seen it in the past, should I say? Where I see artists kind of being a bit like, or people being a bit like, oh, like paying this, and it's like, what have you done to establish that, if that kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that something isn't a good quality just because a lot of people don't know about it necessarily, but also I just think it's important to understand where you're at and how you could maneuver that. That's the best way
I also think it's interesting, like if you're like just starting out and you're younger and you want to follow some sort of dream or something, you have to change your mindset into spending money on that is not like wasting money as well. And I think that's really important because like all my sewing machines and my overlocker and stuff like that I've been buying for like years, do you know what I mean, and saving up for, and I've built everything very slowly and got to the point where I am. And I think that's something you have to remember as well when you're starting. It does take time.
That is a very very good point as well, because sometimes these things can feel. I was talking about PlayStation with my friends yesterday. It's really random. They were talking about putting like an internal hard drive in the PlayStation, and long story short, I was like, how much is it? He's like £180, and I'm like it's a great investment, but it doesn't feel tangible.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just don't feel very tangible, like even though they're definitely worth the investment. So I guess that is definitely a mindset thing, where you start shifting and being like, yo, this is actually an investment.
Yeah. And for me now, I feel so calm about spending any money on anything fashion related. So like when I upfront the fabrics and stuff like that, not even a second thought. But if I buy something for myself, I'm like overanalyzing it.
Yeah.
So maybe I've gone way too far into the other one.
opposite end of the scale.
Literally. But then I think that's why it's working.
Yeah, I think it's just about knowing where you want to put your time with your craft. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like my sort of world revolves around that.
Pretty much. Yeah. I was in a cafe yesterday working. I had to remind myself, like, there's no reason for me to have to be home by a certain time when I'm working on stuff that I want to be doing.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Literally.
So I start telling myself, like, yeah, I mentally got to do this. I'll be back here. And it's like, no, like, if you're doing something and it's actually progressing, then do you know what I'm saying? You
did
can't see
something,
that
right?
as like, yeah, do you know what I'm saying? You can't see it as like a thing. So I definitely understand that. But yeah, like not to get too much into obviously as you said like about who you've worked with, but again, as I've said to you off camera, I just think that in the scale of fashion things, like everything is transactional, whether we like to admit that or not to a point. And I think things are currency. And I'm not saying that you do it, but I think for people maybe, not people, but for me, when I speak to you, I'm always going to highlight some of the cool things that you've done because that's not the most important thing, but it does show the scale of what can be achieved. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. And I guess a lot of people associate like the fame or those sort of people with success as well.
Exactly.
Even I think if you're creating every day and you're not dressing those people, you're still successful. Though.
Exactly. So, that's one of the questions I was actually going to ask you about what your measure of success is, but we'll get into that very soon. So, talk to me about your actual clothes. Talk to me about them.
Clothes?
Yeah, as you see, we have a beautiful piece of beautifulness over
Piece
here.
of materials.
Yeah, I've been notoriously bad. Even people I've dated in the past, like I don't know what things are sometimes. So
That's okay.
Someone told me something about a blouse once when I was like a few years ago, and I was like, "What's a blouse?" And they looked at me like.
To be fair, not many people wear blouses. So.
What do I know about fashion? Nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Talk to me about your wonderful piece, right?
This one here. I made that yesterday.
Yesterday.
Started and finished. Although
do I have to
I
blur
finished.
it out with me?
No, what are you gonna post it? No. This is actually a gift for someone that I work with a lot, a little sound. Because she in my wardrobe there's another.
Shout out to Little Sound in the back.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Right there.
She is someone I work with directly. So we don't go through a stylist as well. There is a story behind that, but I won't drop any names or tell any stories.
Yes. That's one thing. Listen, as we get like into this podcast in life, I will start getting stories. But for now, I'm not even trying to get into that bag. So I just want to know about your work, what people been doing, like what you've been up to, and my little thoughts and stuff. Right. So yeah, guys.
So I'm reworking. Oh, I have done it. It's in the wardrobe. A basketball top that I've reworked her into like a cropped top and skirt. So that's just one of the things I can do. If you ask me really nicely, I can do simple things.
Can you please make me a cowboy hat
really nicely.
from like I don't know?
And then I might say yes.
She might key, you know. She might. But also,
but predominantly like upcycling. But it's interesting because I actually was a digital print designer. So the stuff that you wore back in the day, all the digital prints were designed by me. So that was a series of like 6 prints.
Yeah.
So they go into different brackets. Okay, so digital print design, digital printed clothing, handmade from scratch to your measurements.
Yes.
Then custom. So someone will come to me with an idea and a mood board, which is that one I was just telling you about, the one that was really long, really tiring. Good die. It's fine. That's custom. So they'll come to me with a mood board and ideas of like silhouettes and sizings and who it's for and stuff, and then I'll send back what I'm going to create, sketches, go out and get samples and go and source all the fabrics and stuff, and then I will make the custom based on that person's design. Or there's custom but custom upcycled, so what I predominantly do, so someone like Katie I was telling you about with the blue look will just say I just want a blue look.
Sorry, when you say upcycled as well, what does that mean?
Upcycled is sourcing materials predominantly from charity shops, or stuff that people have given me. Like I have a load of jeans down there that someone gave me the other day, and then ripping it up and then making something new. But I think those ones are like quite subconscious when I'm making it, because they don't really have a lot of direction. It's sort of like I let where I rip the fabric dictate where I'm going to go with the design. And then so those are the custom upcycled ones, and then I have all my stuff that's on site, which is collections, which are available to order. So you can make to order on the collections as well. But then with the stylists, I rent out the archive, which is the collections, and then I make customs.
Okay, 'cause that's what I was gonna say as well.
So
Even when
there's
you,
like 4 different things really.
yeah, but even when you say like, so when
I
you,
can design just a print on its own as well and not even make it into an item or clothing. I can also do that. And I have done that.
super hands on. That's what I was gonna say. Even when you was just like, oh, like you know, you asked me nicely, whatever. Like, obviously you're joking or whatever the case might be, but well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, also, just is I think that's that's partially why because you do everything yourself. It seems like.
I do the website and all the.
How is that for you? How is that
Emails,
balancing that
everything.
creatively? Because it's like I
It's
find it
not
difficult
easy.
balancing the let's say the admin. So it's not admin, but let's say
had
the admin to creating.
Yeah, I had to learn how to say no.
Interesting.
And learn my limits and prioritize. And I think I normally just do like the first part of the morning when I'm having my coffee, my cigarette, doing my emails and my admin, and that's done. Tick
That's
that off the
smart.
list.
Yeah, God, yeah, that's smart.
Anything that I need to do, I'm a Virgo. List. Tick that off. I am a Virgo. True and true. And then
Moon's retrograde and
just like living in a constant state of stress.
okay.
Which obviously isn't healthy. For
I was gonna say that's
the old
the old noggin, as you
yes, on the neurological pathways. I'm trying to.
Anyways,
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So what motivates you to keep going?
I literally could not imagine myself doing anything else.
Is it so it's fun for you ultimately, or as fun as it is it also kind of like
I
cathartic?
can do other jobs and enjoy it and get into it. Like I was a florist
Yeah.
for a few, or like couldn't technically call myself a florist because the florist would be like, you don't have a florist degree. But I worked as a florist, and I really enjoyed it, and I had to quit because I enjoyed it too much.
So borderline ADHD stuff. Like, I really actually liked it a lot,
Yeah, I had to quit because I couldn't focus on that, enjoy my work, and focus on fashion. So the trick, I think, is hating your part-time job so that you have all the energy in the world to go home and do that. Yes. And I do still have a part-time job, but I don't really. Yeah.
I mean, it's in its stages or whatever.
And I think that's an important thing to talk about being a working class creative, is that even though I dress amazing people, I still work at a pizza shop sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how the game goes. And also, but again, that's just, crossing into what I've talked about a million times on here, which is just the whole cross-journalism thing. Obviously, cross-journalism isn't going to take you out of your job from one place to another.
No.
But again, just having more accessible points for people to see things, understand things, and whatever, I just think it helps generally just like... But again, I think, as much as I say that, the reality is, 90% I feel like of artists up until a certain stage are all doing that, and if you're not doing that, it's probably not the smartest thing
literally
to be doing. You need to have some sort of income, otherwise the minute I stopped working consistently and started taking music more alright, I'm just gonna get features and do this. Oh god, that was when I became my most ratty with everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's I'm now this is work now.
And you're just trying to get by.
Just literally trying to get by, as you said. So by the time this has happened, and then some person hasn't sent something, or do you know what I'm saying, the money's taking 4 weeks to come through, but you've done a verse in 2 days.
Invoices can be up to net 90 now as well, which is 3 months, which is just ridiculous because I'll upfront all the fabric costs as well. And then have to wait 3 months to get paid sometimes.
That is.
But just quickly, what you're just talking about is about working alongside. Isn't it interesting? I was thinking about this the other day. How people that are rich often end up being artists because they don't have that financial stress. And have to go towards other careers that aren't. And I just thought it was really interesting because aren't we all really just kind of born as artists, but we just have financials to think about.
I mean, art is so subjective. Almost what I didn't. Congratulations to me. It's so subjective. So the point is, it's just there's or objective, whatever the word is.
Subjective, I think.
Subjective, yeah, one of the two. So I say that because it's just everyone's everything is art. I find sports to be kind of artistic in its own way. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's I think it's just I don't really know anyone who doesn't have some sort of creative hobby. Even
No.
if they're, and as you said, the more successful you are, the more you find people delving into those kind of things. Do you know what I'm saying? Since my mum retired, she's been doing salsa, she's been doing all sorts that she just didn't do before.
Yeah.
Or not, no, I lie, because not to put my mum's business out there, but she was, you know, she had interest in dancing when she was younger. So,
That's sweet.
shout out to my mum. But
Shout out, Mum.
yeah, like, so, you know, you end up going back into like the things that you thought weren't necessarily.
I feel like I did that in lockdown.
Yeah, it was a good. I mean, me, I was depressed during lockdown, but
I mean, there was that, but I feel like you got brought back into a state of like, oh my god, these are the things I used to enjoy. Don't have the time to do because of life.
I think it was the opposite for me. I think lockdown was just like 2019 was probably the best year I had musically. And just as I got like booking agent and a bunch of stuff, 2020 hit. So I think it wiped like the less things that came through, the more I just started being like, well, I guess this is a break. I don't really know where I'm going from here.
Okay.
And then that turned into me like just not releasing music for a year, so on and so forth, and all that extra stuff. So I think it balances itself out. But having that creative side is super, super important. I'm gonna do this thing right about now, and if you want to have your little, we'll do that.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I'll be back. Bow. Stop.
Baby, I run to it like you owe me, bring it back. No, it ain't my birthday, but come and make it clap. Oh, let's do it, I'm on tap. And she gon' throw this whack. Shake it, work it, twerk it, come and do it for a man. You just got your head in, I ain't tryna take the piss. But you gonna need some shit, got this.
Boom.
Oh, cut, start.
Oh yeah, all that good stuff. Get me, we're back. If you didn't know, you're not gonna feel like, you see, I still remember everything. You're not gonna feel like we've left, but we did take a little break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last time someone tried to expose me about smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke no cigarettes, and this person was this.
I did not smoke a cigarette
You know,
this time.
there might be a little blooper section, so you'll understand the context of that later. But we'll talk about that.
For now, cheers.
Cheers. So yep, thank you as always. So I just want to ask you the last few questions. Like, let me know. What was it? Give me one thing that bothers you about like fashion practices or just stuff within the creative scene in general right now. Just one. I always think it's helpful to have a place of like not critique, but just like I think knowing the things that are good are just as valuable as knowing what kind of doesn't work for you as an individual. Just, you know, I don't know. I think it's healthy to express these things sometimes. So it's not about like going on a hate campaign, but what bothers you?
So what it's called, right? Haters.
Haters, that's what I'm saying. That's the network. Hate, 4K, yeah, right. Yeah.
What bothers me?
Yes.
I think I say the industry as a whole. Yeah.
The whole
the
industry.
way the whole fashion industry.
The whole fashion.
Did you know it's actually the biggest industry above oil?
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Above oil?
Above oil.
That kind of makes sense, because like
every single person in the day wakes up and puts on
and put
clothes, don't
something
they?
on, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of makes sense, but yeah.
But I'd say the way that it sort of is nowadays, based on capitalism, consumer culture, all of that sort of stuff, the rise in tech, AI is a thing I am not too...
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to...
I'll start getting really angry if I talk about that.
Before you start, alright, cool, so we'll get to the AI in a sec. One thing that I thought...
It
sips the, yes. Yes. One thing that I found very interesting is you said, before we get into the AI, because that's not what I was talking about, but you mentioned something about, like kind of off camera or whatever, but you mentioned something about like copying, and I found it very interesting coming from a fashion perspective, because I often, whenever you see a lot of people, fashion people talking about this thing, they're very much always on a certain side. So give me your views on what like, what's the difference between, let's say, inspiration and copying, and when does it maybe become like ethical and non-ethical?
Okay, so the example I was talking about earlier, although it was,
it was like, you
it was
understand
on camera,
it. You will understand.
But he cut himself out.
Don't do that. I was cut out of the she just threw it out there like, yes, I was it.
So it was just me sat here.
You filmed half of this and then I was cut out. So we're doing a tape, but ignore that. Tell me. Thanks for that. Expose me.
I was talking about a new collection that came out recently with Diesel, where there were these trousers that were two-tone, and they'd sort of been sliced down the middle and were made out of like two pairs of trousers. And there was an independent designer who was who had been making trousers in that sort of style for quite a while, from a sustainable approach. So going and getting those from like charity shops and upcycling the materials. And then had sort of a bit of a problem with the diesel trousers that were obviously sort of like a replica of that. But where I don't agree with that, and I think that needs to be changed a little bit.
That needs to be changed.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion.
Keep going, don't worry.
You've embarrassed me now.
I didn't do anything. You just literally told me I filmed half of this episode and cut my whole face
Exactly,
off. So
and I spoke great the first time.
Yeah, go on. Give it to me. Keep it going.
No. Stop it! You're throwing me off. I'm getting all hot and flustered.
So Diesel, what did Diesel do?
So basically, they brought out a trouser which they are making as part of their collection, which obviously will be on sale and will be mass manufactured. And then a sustainable designer who does something similar sort of said that they were copying her design. But I think that copying isn't the right word to use there. I think in the fashion industry as a whole, if you look at things over time, everything has been copied. Everything has been appropriated. There were silhouettes that came out like when Vivienne Westwood, after her Malcolm McLaren sort of stuff, she was working with different silhouettes, and that I think is revolutionary. But I think a pair of trousers is not revolutionary in the sense that the copying of it is going to be the be all and end all.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's wrong to steal people's ideas, but I think it's, as a designer yourself, you have to take yourself out of it and realize that like you do not own that specifically, and it doesn't devalue what you're doing if someone from Diesel is also doing that.
so it seems like you're talking like the mind space of
Yeah.
less whether the ethical practice is correct or not, more than mind space. Is that
Yeah,
more
I
kind
think
of
that
you
the
feel like?
ethics are that Diesel is a big corporate conglomerate brand, and that's one independent designer who is trying to do something differently. And I'm not discrediting or saying that she has no right to say someone's copied her or anything
Yeah, this
like
is
that at
primarily an
all.
example, so it's not actually specific.
Just one example, yeah. But I personally don't think that is. And I think that's something that grates on me a lot of the time in the industry, because I've also had garments that I've made for certain people, and then I've made something similar because it's of my design style, and I've had issues with someone else saying that they're looking at copying their style when it's actually...
Oh, so you've been accused of that before?
Yeah,
Really?
I have, yeah.
Do
I've
you know
also
what's-
had stylists change my designs.
Yeah.
Won't say who, but to look like ones I've made for someone else. So
It's funny because I know
there's that.
there's somebody who went to my school. I think her name's Norvana. I don't know how you Norvana or whatever, but she did crochet. Like
Oh, okay,
crochet stuff.
nice. That's time consuming.
Very time consuming, it looks like. But she was doing them from
Fair play.
early, and the amount of people that I've seen afterwards doing it, I'm not saying it came from her, but I know what you mean in the sense of it's hard to pinpoint sometimes. Everything comes in and out with fashion.
Yeah.
So after that, there was a lot of people that have done crochet and certain things, and I'm not crediting her as the person. That was just the first person that I'd seen the particular way that was doing it. But it's hard to really say, like, how do you, like, even when I got into it, I used the rap example, even when I got into it with Wiley, because he said a bar that I felt like, for me, it was more about like acknowledgement, not that he'd copied something, because many people tried to point out to me the rhyme scheme wasn't something that was exclusive to me.
Yeah.
Many people had done it. There was a Kano and Gets tune that it's a Kano and D double tune that I dropped afterwards where he's actually doing the same flow. Yeah, yeah, shout out my guy. But yeah, he like it. I guess that's where the fine line is for me though, because it's like, as I said from before, like I think sometimes you've got to be aware of things, and I think the example I used was just like, it's a silly example, but the example I used was like, sometimes being aware of like man strength or where you might be applying your strength in certain places, I have to be more aware of that as the person who is in control of that. And I think that like, that's where it becomes questionable to a big brand doing it, because if I'm not taking control of my strength or where I'm flinging my arms as we're speaking and I hit you,
Yeah.
you know, it's not. I may not have done it on purpose, but
No.
it's still something that
You can control.
you can control and you can take note of. And I guess, let's say I do take note of that and then still end up doing it because I don't really care.
Yeah.
That's where it's like,
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's an acknowledgement thing, but I don't know where the line between that draws and ends, because I think what you're saying is important, which is understanding that like the ball keeps rolling. As I said before, someone, he was a Young Mojo, I can't remember the lyric, but like when someone takes the swag, you switch it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's about keeping moving, and I think that's testament to your mindset, but also like, I don't know, I just think it's an interesting case to have. So do you feel like it's ethical or not for them to do it?
I think the ethics come down to how the design is made. So the independent designer is doing something more ethical, less sustainable. Diesel had an opportunity in that sort of shape and silhouette of an item to do something ethical, and they didn't. And I think my point that I'm saying is that the independent brand, who's so much smaller in comparison to this big company that's doing something that they consider to be their own, don't be disheartened by that, because it's going to happen and it will continue to happen. And you can't associate your one design with something that someone else is doing, because it's been done not only by that person but by a million people. And I think that's the sort of thing where I was saying, like, don't let copying or appropriation or stuff like that become such a main focus where you're so like, oh, this person stole my design and they're profiting off it. No, because they are going to profit regardless. And I think that's a sad truth, but it is the truth.
And as you said, they can't, maybe not literally, but they can't.
And they may not have seen your exact designer. Diesel may not have seen that one girl's design. They may have seen someone other person who's done it.
You're on the right tangent.
Yeah.
If people, even if your designs are close enough that, let's say someone's stolen it or somebody gets ideas and influence from it. I think it's it depends on how you look at it. I understand how it can dishearten. There's once upon a time where a lot of things dishearten me. Do you know
I think it can be, but I'm just saying my advice would be to not let
not
it.
get it. Yeah, no, but that's the point. Like, I use the example of the Maddie song, me and Demo.
Yes, yeah.
There was, I don't know who they are. I wish I need to go and find the song, but
You do. You need to play it over this.
It's a cool song, but it feels very much like, let's just say like Maddie Part 2. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with me or Demo, but I think it's sampled from the beat and all sorts of things like that. And the first split second, or my ADHD brain or whatever you want to call it, kind of like, when I first heard it, I'm like, what's this? But then I don't know, after about 30 seconds, I was kind of like why would I be upset? Like, It's not that I can't be upset, but it's like, I'm obviously doing right things on a certain tangent. And sometimes, I'm not saying this is what it is, but for me, I kind of see it like a level of like, not flattery, I don't want to sound funny, but it's like flattery. It's like, bro, like people are seeing, alright, let's take the word flattery away from it. People are seeing your ideas. People are seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inspiring more people. So as much as I can understand the level of like, well, they're going to make a bunch of money off this. Yeah. And I guess that's where it comes. At the same time, it's like, bro, you do realize that with the ideas that you're creating, you'll be making that money soon if you keep doing what you're doing.
But then I also think money shouldn't be the drive behind everything that you want to do as well. Because I think I initially lost out on a lot of money because I did do a lot of stuff for free to get to where I am as well. And I think when people are so, I need to be paid the right thing as well, that's when you kind of
you gotta know when your worth is your worth. Okay, I've come
100%.
So again, at my point, even now, like for me, I'm not charging I'm not even doing shows right now, but I'm not charging a bunch because I haven't done them for a while. Even though I've done 2 boiler rooms, I haven't traveled out the country, but I've traveled around in England to do shows and all sorts of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's still knowing where you're at with your value. So for me to come and charge what I was charging in 2019 when I was show, doesn't really make much sense. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just knowing the balance between that. But also knowing, sometimes, I can do a little extra work or whatever. Sometimes, I need my thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
But do a little collaborative thing every now and again for free with a group of creative people, and then you get something out of it all together. Something like that. Like when we did that shoot.
Like, it's nice in that kind of sense. So I do understand that. On the tangent of kind of like copying and design and ideas though. AI. AI. I was gonna say I'm gonna be the physical representation of AI, but I might get, something thrown at me. So I'm not gonna do that. But tell me what's your issue.
Your mouth shut.
Please tell me, what is it with you in there? What's the problem there?
I just think the whole state of the world is just obscene. It's crazy. Like, it is.
I said, what's the problem with AI? You went, yes, the whole state of the world.
No, it is. And AI is like part of it because everything is so driven by tech now and social media, and it's just constant stream of information and data all the time.
That's why we also ADHD. You get 30-second ads every
literally
2 minutes of your
social
life.
media has made everyone neurodivergent.
I'm telling you it has. I've said this for a
telling you,
long
I agree
time.
with
Phones
you.
and
I agree with
computers,
you.
they make everyone neurodivergent. My neurodivergence gets, I know this might sound stupid to some people, especially when you start using the word neurodivergent. I think it's like a box or something. But I like, the more I do, I mean, the more I notice my mental health with how much I'm using my phone. I notice that.
Yeah, I've done that 1 hour Instagram limit now. So it's like, you've used an hour, get off your phone, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, alright. It's like your mom's
telling me
like,
off.
spent enough this.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I'm like, alright, my guy, like, my bad.
Literally.
So,
I think that's it, yeah. It's good to recognise that.
I mean, shout out to my boy Danny. He's doing tech at the moment. He's doing a little bit AI.
Let's not shout out Danny.
No, that's
Danny's
my
a
guy.
lovely guy, I'm
and it's
sure.
funny, like, it's to do with the, you know what I was talking about last time with the fucking the sports thing. I mean, like, whatever. He's doing something similar. So it's like a daily thing that you match with somebody else, and then the AI would tell you whether you're like doing your exercises correct.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
Kind of, like, so it's quite funny to see on the flip side. But like, yeah, I don't know. The amount of things that are like powered by AI and certain things like that is a little bit scary.
I think, yeah.
What about AI and art though? Like, how does that make you feel?
I think it's
like, you're very passionate about your art in a way that's like, I'm very passionate about my art. So when I see people that can't rap very well, not make music. Some people can't rap very well but make good music. When people can't do both, it bothers me because I'm like, yo, you know how much time I put into this?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
you know how many hours I twitched on like
bro,
4 coffees to get that done?
Rewriting this bar 4 times, bro, for you to not even realize the double entendre that I just hit you with. So that you was mentioned earlier on, like, you let your seams, you know, wherever they.
Well, yeah, there's the process as well. There's like making the pattern, pinning, cutting, all of it, isn't it? It's so time consuming. But
is that AI's fault, or is that people?
I think it's, my opinion is the big tech companies want you to be lazy and complacent, and nice little functioning little person that we can put all this data into.
Yeah, cashiers, cookies.
Yeah, I mean,
Meta.
taking jobs off of people. AI.
Oh, okay,
now.
we're getting into what is it? What are they called nowadays?
Huh?
No, I'm
Conspiracy.
Nah, them people with the British flags, but I'm not even gonna go there. Especially as a black man and a white woman on a podcast, they might start looking at us like, right, like, do you know what I'm saying?
I do not support these people.
I'm so sorry, getting too political with it, but yeah, like,
no, that's true.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like, AI. I think that it's a weird balance for me because it's like, I think the more people don't realize that like, if you make everything at your convenience,
what's the point?
You're not helping anything. Like, after a while, like, if I buy diced onions for 8 weeks straight, I'm not gonna want to chop them onions on the 9th week necessarily.
No,
do you know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
It's like you end up.
And we're creatures of habit as well. And the more we get inclined to just live on our phones and let everything be done for us, then the more we're going to be inclined to be lazy and complacent and lose brain cells and just become little fucking.
What was your tip for brain cells again? What was it?
The shower.
Yeah, go on, tell them.
Yeah, the cold shower in the morning, it creates new neural pathways so you can create more brain cells.
There you go.
It's good to shock yourself. You have to shock yourself. Shock your brain.
Give yourself some I mean, I think it's interesting. I think there's places and things that it
I can tell you a lot about the subconscious mind, actually. The subconscious mind. Oh,
AI can tell you a lot about the subconscious mind. Or what it thinks about the
AI cannot tell you my perspective.
I'm trying to rage, mate. I'm literally trying to rage, mate.
I'm not raging.
Fair enough, absolutely. But the subconscious, I mean, that's quite important. I mean, I feel like that's also reflected in the name of the brand.
I think AI as well is the problem is that in regards to creativity is that my opinion of creativity is like alchemizing emotions and how I feel and the state of the world and all of these things that I'm angry about or blah blah blah, and creating something out of it. And I think you can have a robot make something, but it won't have the soul that a person can make. I think that's my problem with it as well.
It's like Jollibee when they send you the robots. Like the robots are cool for a minute, but then it's like, you know, when a person serves you a dish and is very polite and nice to you, it differs. You know what I'm saying?
It
It's a bit like,
does.
like I appreciate that.
We're people, like we thrive off that nature and sort of. Do you know what I mean? Like energy and stuff, and if
matter how much we
everything's
can
just there,
But yeah.
we're just gonna go back to the social media and how that makes you more mentally unwell, and then AI does as well, and
I'm
Meta and
very like the more I okay, we got it, people. We got what we wanted here. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's really scary. The amount of ads and things and AI, it really bothers me.
Targeted ads.
I went to watch A Bit of Sweet Life. 2 recommendations quickly because I like to do my film shit. A Bit of Sweet Life. It's a random. It's like a. Oh my gosh, the film buff in me just. Oh my lord, A Bittersweet Life. Great Korean gangster film, basically.
That
also,
sounds cool.
If you don't like, If you don't like, if you have any interesting thoughts about AI as well, watch Pantheon. Pantheon is one of the best shows I've watched in a long time. It's an adult like animation on Netflix, but oh lord, they talk about AI a lot, and it's great, but in an entertaining format, in a particular kind of way. So shout out to those 2 shows and stuff like that. I forgot what I was just about to go into. But make sure you go and do some research on that AI stuff because it makes a difference, and I think it's in.
Sorry.
No, go on.
No. Research on what it does to the environment. That's all.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And be deep within the subconscious. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is eunoia?
Eunoia.
Oh, I got it.
Eunoia.
I started a little bit, but what does eunoia mean? Tell them again.
So it's the only word in the English dictionary with every vowel in, and it translates to beautiful thinking. And it's Greek derivative, but it's also another meaning of it is the receptivity that you cultivate between yourself and your audience.
There we go.
So it's like a connectedness.
Subconscious thinking. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
That's
not
true.
what you do through AI, and that is also reflected in the lovely work, and that's why you get me. We see us in the British Vogue and them ting there, and we
Soul
just
level.
got magazine. Yeah, like
Do you know what?
Man.
That was like the second. There's one issue after that, and then the next one has AI models in it. So thank God, I got it in time.
Well, that's a positive. This issue didn't feature any AI models. This podcast,
So I'm not mad about it. And I didn't know who the cover was, and then I opened it up and it was Billy, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
win. I thought it was going to be a man.
This podcast was not made by AI, disclaimer. I hear that. So, tell me what you've got going on next. What's coming next for you? What's coming next?
So I'm just always kind of doing little bits, like when jobs and stuff like that come in, like the custom stuff, but always try and make something alongside at the same time. So new collection sort of stuff that's going to be an ode to design. We did figure out a name.
Wait, new collections. New collection's coming out, yeah? New collection is on its way at some point.
At some point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to give any time frames or deadlines right now, but in the next couple months. And I also have a couple models abroad that I want to come back for it. So I'll have to wait for those.
Yeah, you be hitting everybody in terms of just like different target bases. So again, you work with a lot of singers, musicians, a lot of models, a lot of people. Like it seems like a very healthy, sustainable thing going on.
I've been trying to be more actively in it as well because I'm like in my bedroom like a sweatshop slave. Honestly. No, but the 13-hour days. Realistically.
13-hour days, and the amount of sewing and stuff that I see you doing, like every other day I see you posting
crazy,
something
really.
working. So
I'll just be in here, and then I've been trying to get more into it. So I've been out doing more shoots and stuff like that, which has been nice. So
very healthy, staying active. Do you know what I'm saying? A new collection on the way as well. That's very much
bringing
positive.
back the print designs.
Bringing back print design. What did you say before? You said something about merging like stuff that you worked on before, or certain elements.
Oh, so together. You know we said like ode to design is like the name of it.
Yeah.
So like all of the elements of design that I have done before, that I really enjoy. So like the print and then like the ruffles and stuff that I've done and different silhouettes, boning, corsets and stuff, but then also bringing in new elements of design that I want. Basically, it's whatever I want to do and whatever I want to make.
It's what I want to do.
It's about me.
Whatever I want to make. No, as it should be.
EUONIABYEMILY. by Emily.
Yeah,
it's in the name.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then, like, I want to do some leather and bits like that. I've got some leather down there.
Also, random question. Do you ever think you'll take on people?
Huh?
Do you ever think you'll take on people?
So, I had an assistant for my last project, which was really sweet. And I also had a little university student email me asking to be an intern. I was like, oh my God, that's the cutest thing.
I was dying when I saw that story. I was
in the entire world. But honey... no, I don't think I can do anything for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not at that point yet, but I would like to do that. I would never outsource anything. I would get trusted designers that I would want to work with, that I believe could create a vision that I also want. But I also want to be doing the design solely myself for as long as possible.
Nice. Okay, so creative control.
Creative control. But then like the project I've just done, had an assistant come and they were doing like the hand sewing and stuff like that while I was doing the sort of main design pieces. So someone that can contribute and help, I do that quite often, but someone to take over the designs, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like you're very much still in your working process. So I think I'm saying that sometimes. Like, even with this podcast, I've learned that me actually just taking it on and doing it myself. Some things you need the help. Yeah. I'm not saying I wouldn't like help, because I've spoken to a few people. I do want to, get other things going on. But also as well, it's like, this is nice having, I know it sounds stupid because I'm putting on these podcasts and doing the last 2 renditions of the podcast, like cool and stuff, but it's really, as much as it obviously have to think about everything, like this part, that part, it's nice just having my own creative direction over it, and
literally.
I'm controlling when I edit.
And you're gratified from that.
And exactly, like it looks, just utilizing stuff and just keeping your brain active. So I think that creative control sometimes, like just knowing the balance. Yeah, and also rest as well. Rest is important. People know when to rest your brain.
Ain't no rest for the wicked and bad.
Exactly.
But do rest.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked. As my mum used to say, do as I say and not as I do. I have a funny story, but I won't put my mum out there because it was kind of wild. Shout out to Mumsy. She knows what time it is. Telling me not to do something while she was doing it and looking me in my face being like, but don't do this. I don't care if I'm doing it right now. Don't do this. Nothing crazy, but shout out my mum.
When my mum caught me first smoking ciggies, she was like, I was sat out my window like,
yeah, I don't know why I thought I could get away with smoking weed in my parents' house for years and they didn't notice. Of course they did. Like, it was just ridiculous. But shout out my mum, man. Yeah, like that. That's. But like that. So absolutely. And you got any more skating coming up as well? I just want to
skating. No, I skated recently.
Yeah.
Still going?
Yeah, we've got like 3 minutes.
No, I skated recently. Did a little quick push about in Clapham Common. Kind of want to do a couple of little bits, but probably not, to be honest, because I was quivering in my boots, my legs were jelly.
Yeah, no.
And these are my money making tools.
I'm about to say
they're making tools.
Yeah, they're making
I can't really be doing that. Also, I'm like nearly 30, and there's nothing wrong with skateboarding near that age, but for me,
and there's nothing wrong with being nearly 30. Also, by the way, I'm nearly 30.
Yeah,
that's why they be calling us uncle and aunt and all them things. Like,
aunts.
Carry on, because this is the perfect time to wrap this up. Like, what do you mean? They just looked me dead in my face. Like, auntie, she tried to draw me out like 3 times in this like 25 minutes. So, you know what? On that note, wait, no, not yet.
Together.
Okay, that was peaceful. Kill it at the end. This has been another episode of I Feel Fantastic. I would like to thank the wonderful Emily for coming on here. Hopefully, over the few months and stuff, I don't want to have people like unless you're like a cut, that's a whole other story. But for my wonderful guests, we'll get them in every now and again, but not too much. You know what I'm saying? Get some more work in their system, all their other stuff, and then I feel like there's a lot more to talk about with you as well.
I think so, yeah. So it's lovely talking to you.
Indeed, you do. So yes, thank you for coming down. We have the amazing, wonderful Emily. And we'll be back. I'll be back for another episode. I'm gonna do like a bit of a low key one. I'm gonna do one where I'm sitting in my room. I've got a few things to randomly talk about. So I'm gonna do that. But thank you all for joining. Shout out to everybody who's liked, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm a YouTuber now, apparently, kind of crazy. But yeah, 3,
2,
1.
And I do feel fantastic.
Baby, I run to it like you owe me, bring it back. No, it ain't my birthday, but come and make it clap. Oh, let's do it, I'm on tap. And she gon' throw this whack. Shake it, work it, twerk it, come and do it for a man. You just got your head in, I ain't tryna take the piss. But you gon' need some shtick, goddess like Alexa Bliss. Baby, I'ma need that